We are back, it's lap 3. It's been an absolute chaotic start to this race. But Dan Murphy leads by 1.6 seconds from Deneen. Flying Soz now in DRS range. TTG Navy, can he put right? Can he get it right this time? At last lap agony in the last race in Australia. But can he get it right? And now Flying Soz down the inside of Deneen. Can he get the move stuck here? Yes, he can. The McLaren driver not fighting it too hard. Flying Soz on the soft tyres. And you're up to 6th place fighting with Christian Belko. They've both got front wing damage. You're running over a bit of debris there. Can Belko on the softer tyres stick around the outside? You're just slightly forcing the track, but Belko is still there. Up the hill. No! Belko's in the wall and out! Oh, no! Christian Belko. What a shame. It looks like he got on the curb when he tried to rejoin the track and has found the wall. Wow. What a shame. No safety car, I don't think, but 0 points in the first 2 races for Christian Belko. And I can imagine the frustration because he was trying to pass You're going slightly too hard on him. We'll have to see if back as Jonathan Cox picks for penalty. In the meantime, Flying Soz starting to catch Dan Murphy. Can Dan Murphy win his first ever race? It would be absolutely spectacular. Flying Soz ahead of him. Deneen now still staying with the Flying Soz though, and there is Jacob and TTG Navy. Navy, who's also got his front wing intact. Race winner in Australia. You're there in 6th place, while Jamie, what a start he's had. Front wing damage, but going quite okay with that, thank you. As Stam and Blaz and Knowlesy in the points, and not that bad as the first of the pitted runners in 11th place. As yellow flags in sector 2. What's going on? It's TG. It looks like he's had another incident with the wall. So there he stops. Yeah, so sorry, Lennon's the first driver to have pitted out there at the moment, as it's TG is out. There your position changes. Hopefully Sean can rejoin us soon. But there is BP at the back, course, making another race stop. But Dan Murphy 2.4 because Deneen is back into 2nd place. He's past Flying Soz. Deneen back into 2nd. Great action there. The McLaren driver, the reigning champion, the Irishman, has got past the Greek driver. Stam picks up a penalty. So now Flying Soz back with DRS. Can he get it back past Deneen? This will all be helping Dan Murphy. He'll be pulling away. What can RU Racing has passed his Racing Point teammate. Looks like there is, of course, not that bad. Is not in the car at the moment. Stan right behind Jamie as well. Yours only 6 seconds off, although with a bit of front wing damage. And riding the curb and getting a penalty. That's a harsh one for the Australian winner. But Flying Soz and Jacob and TTG Navy are now within DRS range of Deneen, so Deneen could be under big attack here. Softer tyres to Flying Soz. All this battling will be helping Dan Murphy get away. Here goes Flying Soz down the inside of the Alfa Romeo. Can he get the move stick? Yes, he can. Well, a cut back from Deneen. Flying Soz blocks the apex. Deneen trying to go on the outside this time. Can he make this move stick? This will be quite a move. Who is not using DRS? I think Flying Soz had it and hasn't used it. Deneen round the outside and through. Is he? Is he through? Yes, he is. What a move. Great fighting between the Greek driver and the Irish driver. And he's gone. Deneen's off. Deneen's off. He didn't hit the barrier. Wow, he survived. Well, I thought he was a goner. Well, that is a massive setback for the Irishman. And it puts Jacob into 3rd. Navy now into 4th place. And they are right behind Flying Soz. Are the soft tyres starting to wear down? Are we going to get a first winner for TTG Navy after the Australia heartbreak? But now Jacob, it's his turn to have a go. This is a much, much better race from Jacob. This is the race he needed in the Mercedes. TTG waiting for any mistake that's going to come from car number 12. Flying Soz now is 3.2 behind Dan Murphy, who is quietly going about his business there in 1st place. What a race from Dan Murphy. Flying Soz, Jacob, Navy, nose to tail. They'll have DRS. Flying Soz here could be a target, but he's got... And is he coming in? He is coming in. So he picked, and so does Dan Murphy. 6 laps on the soft tyres then. And they are in. So it's Nate, it's Brad. Look at the leaders. The leaders are side by side. It's Navy trying to move on Jacob. Nothing doing now, and Deneen is 3.5 seconds back. Now will Navy have a go? Jacob going super defensive. Now down to the inside. Navy takes to the outside. We know Navy is a good overtaker. We saw it in Australia with his battle with Yor. And now he is fighting for the lead of the race with Jacob. The front two are nose to tail. Deneen is catching them. You're doing a great job there with front wing damage. And Dan Murphy getting past Knowlesy. So Dan Murphy back on the soft tyres. So Flying Saucer has got mediums. Dan Murphy on the soft tyres looks like it's going to try and two-stop. As Jamie there just behind Stam. Stam's got past Jamie then, who's also got front wing damage. The other Williams of Blaz going about his business nicely on the hard tyres. Yet again Blaz having a good quiet race. Back to the leaders. Jacob from Navy. This is absolutely fantastic. Australia, we had a great battle with Navy and Yor for the lead. And now we've got it again. Navy will wait for the DRS. No point doing a move down here at all. Wait for the DRS. Dan Murphy will have to go like the wind to make this two-stop work. I'm absolutely fascinated to see if he can make it. Has he blown his chance of winning? Now, here we go. Navy down the inside of Yor. Doesn't want to do it there. Will he have a go up into turn 3? Deneen now just 2.6 behind as he tries to catch up with the field. Yor dropping back. Jamie's still right behind the back of Stam as well. We'll cut to that shortly, but Navy cannot get through. Then there is the McLaren. As Flying Soz gets past Knowlesy. He's in the mediums. Can he go to the end, Flying Soz? As Stan and Jamie going wheel to wheel. Jamie with his front wing damage managing to keep up with Stam. Stam had a disappointing race in Australia, crashed out part of the contact, and the craziness with RC Sean and crazy power. But Jamie again showing some good speed there. Right, Navy back in the DRS zone. Can he have a go? This is not really an overtaking move around here. And Jacob just holding on. This is much better from Jacob, who I haven't seen pick up a penalty yet either. So is Jacob learning from his lessons? Under some serious pressure. They're holding each other up though, because Deneen is catching. And of course Dan Murphy 8th. He has stopped. Flying Soz 9th. He has stopped as well. Dan Murphy is definitely two-stopping because he's gone soft-softs. Was that intentional? He's gone against the grain. Would it work for Dan Murphy? But here we go. DRS wide open as we begin lap 9. Navy on Jacob. Down the inside. Jacob not defending this one. So Navy will have a clean run down to turn 1 on the inside and gets through. Can he get it stopped in time? Yes, he can. Is there a switch back from Jacob? No. So Navy leads. And now Navy has led both races as Dan Murphy. Fastest lap on his fresh soft tyres. Catching the back of Blaz. Look at that, nose to tail. And now Deneen, after his earlier mistake and going off, is now just 2 seconds behind these two as well. We could have a 3-car battle very shortly. Yor and Stam, 2 Greek drivers there in 4th and 5th, did a great job, especially as Yor has front wing damage. Great job by Knowlesy. Crazy power getting past Lucas there for 13th place. Crazy power, it looks like Lucas's tyres are struggling. Crazy power's mediums are now coming into effect. And BP getting past, not that bad. So after the absolute craziness and chaos of the start, it's starting to settle down. And Navy just seems to be slightly pulling away from Jacob. When are they going to pull the trigger and pit? Of course, they'll be holding each other up because Dan Murphy will definitely retake the lead of the race, but he's got to make those softs work. He'll be pitting probably around lap 15, 16 for his new mediums. And then he'll go to the end. He'll certainly have the speed. Will these boys and mediums go on to softs or hards? That's the big question. Looks like Navy putting away. So Jacob with DRS cannot get close enough. This is what Navy did in Australia. Led the race, pulled away. Oh, and Jacob then he got caught out on the brakes. nearly took out our race leader. And has damaged his front wing. Has Jacob got front wing damage? Yes, he has. Oh, Jacob. Has he? I just want to clarify. No, he has. Yeah, he has. Front wing damage to the left-hand side of the front of the car. Oh, Jacob. How's that gifted Navy? What an opportunity for him. But that will also please Dan Murphy and Flying Soz. And Jacob will have Deneen hunting him down now as the penalty's starting to come in. There's Jamie with also front wing damage. Don't forget, just about 15 cars all with front wing damage after the first lap excursions and craziness of what we saw. And yeah, Jacob now 1.1 out. Oh, agony for Jacob. And a 3-second time penalty to go with it. It's starting to unravel for the English driver. For Navy, can he put right Australia? He was perhaps pushing too hard. Jacob getting ragged. This is where Jacob went wrong in Australia. He crashed with front wing damage, pushing too hard. Will he pit now? Will he put on hards or will he carry on out there? Because Deneen is, well, he's not catching too much actually. And Jacob is pitting. So no doubt it's going to be hard tyres unless he's going to fancy a two-stop as well. Interestingly, where's he going to come out compared to Dan Murphy, who's right behind the back of Blas? And he'll have some helpful DRS as well. It is hard tyres for Jacob, so he's going to the end. It'll be a new front wing for Jacob. Yes, it is. So Dan Murphy easily clear, as I expect will Flying Soz go. And it is. So, Jacob needs to do what he did in Australia, except just keep it out the barriers. Oh, Knowlesy may get ahead here as well. So Jacob at the pits. No, yeah, Knowlesy has cleared him. Will Lennon clear him? Hasn't pitted on his softs. In fact, is probably struggling on his soft. But now it's head down for Jacob. Head down for Jacob. Get it done. Do not make any mistakes like in Australia. As RU Racing will pit for a set of hards. He's one stopping. Jonathan Cox, who's having a disappointing race. He was caught up in the first lap drama. Down there in 14th place. Two retirements, of course. It's TG and Christian Belko, who we saw hit the wall after a little bit of argy-bargy with Yor. Yor now into third place. The Australian winner, front wing damage, but managing it quite nicely. However, his Greek counterpart Stam is catching him pretty rapidly now. Stam started down in 14th place, so up 10 places for Stam. Blas up 13, by the way. What a race here for the Greek driver Stam, who usually, it's the other way around, usually qualifies well and starts to fall away in the race. But this is as Deneen pits. So Deneen pits. His tyres are probably a bit knackered from his off earlier on. So Deneen will pit. Where will he come out compared to Jacob? Also in the background there is Yor. He'll have to change his front wing. Anybody else fancying a pit stop here then? Oh, that front wing change is agonising for these guys. So Deneen's going to rejoin. Looks like ahead of Jacob. And ahead of, crucially for him, ahead of Knowlesy as well, as Jacob lining up a move on Knowlesy. Down the inside, it's a late move from Jacob. Knowlesy has to get on the brakes and get out of the way. Jacob not messing around at all. Oh, and it's gone wrong for Knowlesy, trying to rejoin back on track. Oh, so it's... and a front wing damage as well. I wonder if he got that with Jacob. We'll have to look at that. Jacob barging his way through, a man on a mission, just 3.4 behind Deneen, so not necessarily at the podium places or chances yet. It's Dan Murphy now behind Jamie in the DRS. He of course will have to stop again because he's on fresh soft tyres. He's chosen the two-stop strategy, and I'll tell you what, some of the Super League drivers will be watching this just trying to get some ideas. Is a two-stopper going to work? Soft mediums. Is it a way to go? Jamie has front wing damage as well, so this should be easy pickings. Now, will Navy stop? And is. So here comes Navy. Now, will he lose the undercut to Deneen? That's the question. So will Stam stop? Yeah, Stam stopping as well. So Navy and Stam, what a first stint by Stam. And Jamie follows suit, so it's a clean run. Oh, Jamie, 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits. That's going to be crucial because I think it's going to be close. But look at this. Blas in second place. Blas is second place again. He just keeps his nose clean. Out of trouble. Okay, he hasn't stopped, but he is second. But Dan Murphy leads. However, he has to stop again. But when he does, he'll be mightily quick. Flying Soz also will have to possibly stop again. Third place, Navy, there in fourth. It's all worked out for him. 3.5 ahead of Deneen, 3.2 ahead of Jacob. Stam has got himself into contention as well, as that is the ghost car, not that bad. So Dan Murphy now, whose tyres are probably again reaching their peak. So the medium runners, although what tyres did Dan Murphy go on? He would want to get at least 2 more laps out of these and then try and go on to the medium tyres. Are You Racing having a disappointing race down there in 15th, picks up a penalty. Slimbo there in 13th. Wow, it just hasn't gone the way that the guys like BP, Lucas, RU and Slim and Jonathan Cox certainly would have wanted to go. And in fact, Slimbo's left the session. Oh, it goes from bad to worse for Slimbo. And yet again, the McLarens, who I really thought would be in for a strong race, are struggling. Let's see our race leader, Dan Murphy, lap 14. Slimbo is rejoined, so good news, doesn't lose too much time. But there is Dan Murphy, 3.7 ahead of the Slovenian driver, Blaz, who is having another incredible race, as Jamie has passed Nolsey. Down there in 11th place, Jamie now up to 10th place on his fresh tyres. That's like crazy power. The Italian, who's also had a very disappointing start to the season. We're going to get some big names finishing up the points here, no doubt about it. The Renault driver pits, he pit on lap 1 for a new front wing, of course, so he's also out of sync with everybody else. Slimbo says he got killed at turn 1. Yeah, I did see Jonathan Cox going into the side of him, of Slimbo at turn 1 on the first lap. And then all hell broke loose as Lucas puts the fast lap of the race on soft tyres. Dan Murphy. So what are the times to the leaders? So that's the interval. The leader. So Murphy has an 8.5 second lead over Navy, and Dan Murphy will have to stop again. However, when he stops, he'll be on far quicker tyres and will no doubt catch back up to the likes of Jacob, Deneen and Murphy and Navy. Starting on the pole, first ever pole position. When does he jump to the medium tyres? It's going to have to be mediums, or this strategy hasn't worked. He will not want to go on the hards. He goes on 15. So yeah, now possibly this lap or the next lap, Dan will pit for those mediums. Flying Soz will also have to pit again. Not quite worked as well for him, unless he can make his mediums go 14 more laps. But I think he'll be running the risk of his tyres falling off. He's not really catching Blaz either, still 5.7 behind the Slovenian, and Navy is catching, he is catching Blaz, and Navy is catching Flying Soz, so maybe the 2-stop hasn't quite worked out for Flying Soz. Time is definitely going to tell. Blaz, the early driver now, who has not stopped, up 18 positions, one of the few drivers to keep his nose clean in the absolute melee and chaos of lap 1. So let's go with tyre, let's go with interval. So Blaz, who's kept that distance to Dan Murphy the same. Dan Murphy's tyres will be definitely dropping off now as well. Flying Soz right behind the back of Blaz, now just about within DRS range. There's Navy, there's Deneen, and there is Jacob. It's getting close, as looks like Lucas has just passed Crazy Power. So Flying Soz will have DRS this time by on Blaz. It's just not worked. Just not worked for Flying Soz. He could lose out here in this 2-stop strategy. Here we go. Tucked right behind the rear wing of the Slovenian driver. I don't think Blaz is going to fight this too hard, to be honest. In fact, is Blaz pitting. Blaz decides to pit. Flying Soz will take, and Dan Murphy pits. So Blaz has worked out beautifully for him. Blaz will surely go mediums. I'm pretty sure Dan Murphy will go mediums. Flying Soz leads then from Navy, from Deneen. Where will Dan Murphy re-emerge? Here comes the Toro Rosso. Where's Stam? That's a big question. He want to be out ahead of Stam. I don't think it's going to happen. Oh, and is that your as well? It is. They're going to be side by side. Murphy gets out of it. It's 7th for Dan Murphy. Now he's got, what, 13 laps on the medium tyres to absolutely go for it if he wants to win his first race. It's a tough ask. He is on the softer compounder tyre compared to the guys in front of him. You're going to be a tricky man to pass. You've done a good job this race as well. But Yor is very resilient driver to pass. This is going to be a tough job for Dan Murphy. What? It's worked out for Blaz beautifully. 8th place, only 5 seconds behind Dan Murphy. The two Williams drivers are in line astern. There is Jamie. They're top of the constructors at the moment. They're going to add more points to their tally. Up ahead, it's all different constructors. Right, Dan Murphy like a move on Yor. Will he get it done here? He's going to back out of that one. Thinks better of it. Jacob right behind the back of Deneen now. This is interesting. Jacob, who lost his front wing a little bit too rash behind the back of who was he behind? He was behind the back of Navy, challenging for the lead at the time. Now running wide, a little bit ragged there from Jacob. Can he get the DRS open? Here we go. Deneen defending this. Jacob down the inside. Slimmo's left for session again, getting bad to worse for him. Now then, Jacob down the inside. This time gets the move stuck, and Jacob takes over 3rd place. He is a man on a mission. Deneen trying to fight it back, and in the background Dan Murphy has passed Yor. 1 down for Dan Murphy. 1.8 behind Stam. Jonathan Cox pits. What's he going to put on? Will anyone want to gamble on the softs? It's mediums again. It's just not working out for him because he was involved in that first lap accident. So Dan Murphy now 1.5. He'll rapidly catch Stam, and then is a bit of a gap to Deneen, who is now fighting with Jacob, but Navy has a nice gap between himself and Jacob as Slimbo rejoins, and Navy also now catching the back of Flying Soz. Flying Soz, I'm pretty sure, will have to stop again. So Jonathan Cox saying he got banged by a Ferrari in turn 1, so sounds like it was all hell broke loose. As Are You Racing as well, right behind the back of oh, and Stam made a bit of a mistake there. Are You Racing right behind the back of Lennon. We'll look at that in just a moment. Can Murphy get past Stam? He'll want to do his ASAP. In the meantime, Are You Racing? There you go. He's in DRS, and of course in DRS in the shadow of Not That Bad, who has left the session. And Lucas, as Slimbo drops 2 places because Crazy Power, and Lucas also nose to tail as well. Action everywhere on the field at the moment. Deneen still within DRS, so Deneen doesn't get the move done on Jacob. Now can Dan Murphy get past Stam? He's a little bit far back actually. I don't think he's going to get this done, and he doesn't. And it's another opportunity goes by, though. Stam running wide in his hard tyres, and this is a perfect opportunity for Dan Murphy now. DRS will be wide open. Stam going very defensive. I think Dan will have to go on the outside. Look at the tyre pickup. Offline, it's dirty, it's dusty, and Dan Murphy still can't get through. It'll be frustrating Englishman now. Stam defending his car nicely, doing nothing wrong. Crazy Power getting past Lucas there before the corner's done. They're going to be hoping for some dropouts, and Lennon and Are You Racing, 2 former Super League drivers there, fighting for the final point. Blaz catching Yor, we'll keep an eye on that, but still Dan Murphy agonising for him, still just behind the back of Stam. Will he try a move here? Oh, it looks like he is, you know, down the inside. Oh, it's the corner's too quick. Stam shuts him off. In the meantime as well, Deneen right behind the back of Jacob. In fact, no, he's just dropped out of DRS, so it's climaxing nicely, but Dan Murphy, if he wants to try and win this race, needs to get this move on Stam done ASAP. Here he goes now. He's not even going to wait for the DRS. Down the inside. Oh, and Stam waiting for the DRS, so Stam backed off. No, he'll now have DRS on Dan Murphy, although the exit from Stam isn't too good. I think now Murphy's got to defend. Stam could have played a beauty card here. And back through goes Stam. Murphy down the inside. Can he get later on the brakes? Oh, don't bang into each other. Oh, they did bang. And Stam damages front wing. Oh, yeah. Oh, from that angle, I'm not too sure. But that is disaster for Stam. Dan Murphy up to 5th. Now 9 seconds behind Deneen. 10 laps to go. There's time. There is time. Possibly able to reach to win this race, but a podium is well at stake for Dan Murphy. And you're now right behind the back of Stam. Yours had a great race, won in Australia. It looks like he could pick up a top as gets nicely past Stam, who's going to be struggling with that front wing damage. Max says, come on BP. BP's had a very, very frustrating race, down in 16th place. Got caught up in the lap 1 chaos. With Stam's front wing damage, I tell you, he's got an opportunity here. Blaz has an opportunity to pick up another place. After starting right down the field, what an opportunity for the Slovenian. Meanwhile, Navy now is just behind the back of Flying Soz. Flying Soz did a good job. He's got 9 laps, his fastest lap for Jacob. He is flying. Can he catch Navy? There in the background is Dan Murphy. There is your right, Flying Soz. Has he got to stop again? He's got 9 laps to hold on to those tyres. That is a tough ask. As Stam pits for a new front wing, he's going to be one extremely frustrated Greek driver. This could cost him a point, you know. He'll go on the soft tyres. Could be a fastest lap. He's got a nice gap to Lennon and Are You Racing. Front wing change, but Lennon and Are You Racing to get through. And in fact, Are You Racing might even double his points here. Right behind the back of the English driver, the Belgian driver goes down the inside. Plenty of room given by these two. It's not, because Lennon, good racing. That's lovely racing between the two, and Stam has dropped to 13th place. Yet again, Are You Racing? Will he have a look here? No, he doesn't. Good racing. Lennon doing nothing wrong there. Both pretty much on the same tyre life. So Lucas now to 11th with crazy power just behind him, and there is Stam. That has been a disaster for him. In the meantime, there is Navy, so he is rapidly caught up to the back of Flying Soz. Flying Soz maybe just starting to suffer with some tyre wear now. 9 laps is that's a big ask. I think he's going to be coming in for softs very shortly, and in fact he is now. He jumps the gun. Oh, and it's a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits. And any advantage he tried to get to stopping this race has just gone out the window. In the meanwhile, Jacob is absolutely flying. Can he? It's another fastest lap by Jacob on the hard tyres as well. Max says, Max1234 Games said BP will win a race this season. No doubt about it. He just needs a little bit of luck to go his way. Flying Soz and Jamie Blaz getting close, and Blaz up to 6th place. What a race. Surely not 2 driver of the days in 2 races. I'm pretty sure they're Flying Soz have something to say about that. And Are You Racing? Can he finally get past Lennon here? Lovely. This is how it should be done. Both giving each other space. Now Lennon has the cutback. He'll have to go around the outside though. Are You Racing down the inside? Oh, the DRS. Lennon gets the advantage. Lovely stuff. That is good, respectful racing between both these drivers. Lucas is starting to catch him though, as Lucas and Crazy Power also getting very close. Action everywhere now. I'm expecting Flying Soz to fly past the Slovenian driver Blaz, who'll be very happy with his outing so far. Dan Murphy not really catching the front three as quick as he would like. Slim fastest lap means nothing, however, because he's outside the top 10. No extra point for him. Jacob now 3.7 behind Navy. I'll tell you, if Jacob ends up contending for the win, it'll be an incredible comeback. However, his tyres are 2 laps older than TGG Navy. Up there in front, and Navy will just be praying that he can keep it all together. Unlike in Australia. Now, Yours is only 1.4 behind Dan Murphy, staying with him nicely. Yours had an absolutely fantastic start to the season. Flying Soz passes Blaz halfway down the straight. And Flying Soz could get himself behind, only 5 seconds behind Yours. 6 behind Dan Murphy. Flying Soz and Dan Murphy both 2 stops, so they could find themselves meeting in the middle. But Williams are in for another good haul of points. Well, Are You Racing? And then this fantastic battle resumes, as does Lucas and Crazy Power, and Stam there as well. Now Crazy Power on the outside, can he get the moves? And this is all for 11th place, and Crazy Power down the inside. This time, can he get the moves done? Has he made it stick? Here comes Lucas down the inside. Stam there as well for any mistakes made. And Lucas back on the inside. Here comes Stam. And they somehow don't make contact. Stam is an absolute man on the mission. He'll be feeling very aggrieved what's happened to him. Knowles, he pits. Oh, a little bit of banging wheels there between the Italian driver Crazy Power and Stam. Great racing down the field. There's Are You Racing again, right behind the back of Lennon. Any mistake from these boys as Knowlesy's lost it. Where's that happened? Down to turn 1? He had just pitted. And what was a fantastic race for him in Australia has sadly ended in disappointment here in Bahrain. Jonathan Cox there in 14th place. Not the race he was been expecting at all. Flying Sod's fastest lap, but that will count for the bonus point. Absolutely will. Jacob just still 3.4 off the lead. Getting off the track as well. Don't do that too many times. He'll pick up a penalty. Deneen, the reigning champion, first race back, 3rd place, 6.6 ahead of Dan Murphy. The 2-stop, well, it's hindsight. Would the 1-stop have worked for Dan Murphy? Would he have contended for this race win? Hard to tell. Dan felt more comfortable on the 2-stop. It's still going to be, whatever happens, it's still going to be a potential fantastic 4th place for Dan Murphy. A 5th in Australia, a 4th here in Bahrain. Could be better. Still a bit of way to go yet. Now putting away from You're being quickly caught by Flying Soz. And Blaz is coming with him. Blaz holding on nicely. Jamie for some more points. And Lennon and Are You Racing. There they are. For the last points paying position. Lucas, Crazy Power and Stam are also still all nose to tail as well. Stam could probably feel he could clinch a point with his soft tyres if he can pass these two rapidly, quickly. And Crazy, well, that's one job done. There goes Crazy Power off the road. So Stam's got past one. That makes his life easy now. There's Jonathan Cox in the background. Now, can Stam get past Lucas? And then 6 seconds to make up to Are You Racing and Lennon, who are still battling nose to tail. Jacob now says lead down to 3 seconds in front. Stam penalty, well, that doesn't help his cause at all. Now, I think Are You Racing trying around the outside. Now they both go down to turn 1. Who got the DRS? It was Are You Racing with the DRS. So, Are You Racing on the outside of Lennon. This time, can he get the move done? Lennon defensive. Middle of the track, but I think Are You Racing's done it. He has! Finally, the Belgian driver has the move done, and Stam has passed Lucas. Stam now into 11th place. Now, can Lennon fight back here? He can't. And Are You Racing, at last, gets past Lennon. And Stam, can he catch 6.4 seconds to make up on Lennon and Are You Racing? Holding each other up. He may just salvage a point or two from this. Jacob now 2.7 behind TTG. This is still on. It's still on for Jacob. I'll tell you what, it is still on. Murphy not catching Deneen as quickly as he'd hoped. You're doing a great job. Here comes Flying Soz, 1.8 behind yours. So he's got a chance of 5th, at least Flying Soz. Which would be a nice welcome return for him. His first race of the season after missing Australia. He would welcome a top 5 place. Blaz will be absolutely delighted with this one. 7th place, Are You Racing picks up a penalty in his fight with Lennon. That could be crucial for Are You Racing. Stam is quickly catching him as well. And Lucas and Crazy Power have continued their race-long battle. Lucas and Crazy Power had plenty of battles last season as well, so they know each other and how they race very, very well. Lennon seems to be dropping back. Even with DRS not close enough. Are You Racing? Yeah, defends. Be one more DRS though. Now up to turn 3. Can Lennon get a good exit out of turn 2? Lennon, Are You Racing going left and right and left and right. And Crazy Power has finally passed Lucas, whose tyres, I'm pretty sure, are dying. And Jacob picks up a penalty. And as Lucas getting back through on Crazy Power. Well, his tyres certainly aren't letting up, but Jacob penalty could cost him the chance to win this race, and I think this, surely this time, will be when Navy picks up his first ever Elite League race. I don't want to jinx it, but it's in his hands to lose as Lucas and Crazy Power have an absolute fantastic battle, as are You Racing and Lennon. Stam, well, he's catching, but not that quickly. Flying Soz now 1.5 behind Your seems to be re-catching Dan Murphy. But as Dan Murphy just taking it a bit easier. Has he settled for 4th place? Got a flag, and Jacob's out. Jacob's out. Where's Jacob gone? I cannot believe it. Jacob is out again. This is unbelievable. He's gone off in turn 1 somewhere. He's hit the wall. I can't find his car. Wow, absolute not again. At the same point as when he crashed out in Australia, Jacob has binned it again. And it's no points again for Jacob. Absolutely extraordinary. All of a sudden, Lennon, are you racing jump up places? But now, surely, that hands the victory. Well, I'm not going to jinx it this time, but what an opportunity for Navy to win his first ever. Oh, it's a curb on turn 2. Jacob says he hit the curb on turn 2 and into the wall. I do not believe that. And that's crazy power off the road. Has he come together? Oh, he's got front wing damage. I wonder if him and Lucas have come together. Wow, it's all going off. So Lennon, are you racing? And now fighting for 8th and 9th. Stam back in the points in 10th. And Flying Soz and You're all catching Dan Murphy. Dan Murphy now on a podium. It would be incredible if You're picked up a podium. He's had an absolutely stellar race. Up 6 positions, the Australian winner. You're a genuine championship contender here. So Navy leads by 12 seconds from the reigning champion Deneen. From Dan Murphy, who started on pole. And I'll tell you what, he will take this podium now. You're and Flying Soz, though, are closing in on him. This is going to be a... And there they are! There they are! There's the Renault! There's the Alpha! Blaz in 6th. Williams for another good set of points here. They lead the constructors, and I think they may well still lead the constructors leaving this race. Lennon 8th. Are you racing? Now they're side by side again! Don't bang wheels, boys. Keep it clean. And Lennon is back through! And are you racing? Fantastic racing between these two. Absolute respect between them both. Look at all the 2-stoppers out there. Oh, they're saying the majority of them. By the way, Lennon stopped on lap 1. He was one of the drivers, and Are You Racing? They both stopped on lap 1 with all the chaos that happened. Flying Soz now within DRS of You're. Murphy's picked up the pace slightly, but Flying Soz, who already has the bonus point for the fastest lap, can now see a top 4 in his sights from his Greek counterpart, You're. They don't want to make a mistake. You're will not be an easy driver to pass. No way. It's hard to tell if the 2-stoppers worked. Flying Soz and Dan Murphy both genuinely 2-stopped. Both went soft mediums. And it seems to me as there's not been a lot at all. If the Super League drivers are watching, there's been nothing at all between the 2-stop and the 1-stop. Well, Flying Soz, try move here. 2 laps to go. Doesn't get it done here. Has to tuck in behind the runner rear wing. You're just he's just 1.5 behind Dan Murphy. Dan Murphy's only 3.4 behind Deneen. So he's catching Deneen. And I'm not sure if I've seen Deneen have penalties. But Navy is a lap and a half away from his first ever Elite League victory. As Are You... Oh, here we go again. Oh, and there's a ghost of Not That Bad. And Are You Racing has again passed. But Lennon will have the jump. Oh, and he's hit the back of Are You Racing. He got too quick. He was too quick. Oh, and that damage could be costly for Lennon. Round the outside, though, he's lost both end plates. He completely smashed the back of the Belgian driver. Are You Racing had a dreadful exit, and Lennon was just too quick. Caught him completely off guard. And here comes Stam. Stam can sense an 8th place here. Fighting with Not That Bad's ghost. That will get out of the way. It's absolutely lighting up now. Yours backed off from Dan Murphy. The gap is now 2 seconds. Dan Murphy now having 3 seconds of Deneen. Last lap for Navy. But I don't know where to look here. Flying Soz, can he try a move? He's got 3 more DRS zones to get a move done. Jamie's catching the back of Blaz, by the way. You're made a slight error there. So will this be an opportunity for Flying Soz? Where? Oh, come on, we don't want this view. There we are. You're going defensive. There are the 2 Williams boys having a great race. Flying Soz can't get it done here. What about Stam? Stam and Lennon. So Stam's through. Stam is 9th place. He's recovering nicely. Flying Soz now. Now, you're on the inside. Flying Soz around the outside. Can he make it stick? Well, they're still side by side, and this time Yor has to yield, and Flying Swords is through. 4th place for the Greek driver. Great start to... Oh, he's run wide. He's run wide though. Where's Yor? Yor now alongside. Did he get the better drive? This is not an overtaking move. Yor thinks better of it. Dan Murphy now within 2 seconds of Deneen, but in the meantime, there is DGG Navy. He crashed on the last lap, chasing for the victory in Australia. This time, with 1 corner to go, he's going to do it. Navy is going to win his first ever Elite League race around the last corner. It's victory for Red Bull. It's his first ever win. Navy wins in Bahrain, and Deneen is going to be second. No! 5-second penalty for Deneen. RU Racing's also been off the road, but this could cost him second. Dan Murphy is second. What about Flying Swords? It's Yor for Flying Swords 5th. Deneen cost himself a second place on the final straight. RU Racing's out with Jonathan Cox. What has happened? What has happened? Blaz a fantastic 6th, Jamie a fantastic 7th, but RU Racing and Jonathan Cox have crashed on their final lap. And RU Racing, Jonathan Cox and RU Racing were Super League rivals. That's where they've done it. So Lucas is going to score a point. It's Stam 8th, Lennon 9th after with no front wing at all. What has happened? And Lucas finishes 10th. BP will surely cross the line 11th. I have no idea what happened there. Well, this is extraordinary. Navy wins his first ever race. No front wing at all for Lennon, and oh, we've got an absolute mess. The 2 Williams boys have crashed into each other with Lennon on the outlap. Lucas salvaged a point. It's a pleasant surprise. That's Ferrari's first point of the season, and he's got a puncher to go with it. RU Racing had a puncher. Lucas had a puncher. That's what's happened. RU Racing got a puncher and took out Jonathan Cox. Well, that's there's going to be plenty of action in the chat. I think BP will definitely be hosting from now on. That's for certainty. But well, that was again action from start to finish. Try and get that all in a highlights package for you to drop on Friday. But that was not the usual elite standards at the start of that race. That was a lot to go through and well, evaluating that. Fantastic for Navy. Navy puts to bed the ghost of Australia. Straight back with a victory. Look at the comments. Harry said redemption for last week for Navy. No doubt about it. Can you get rid of head admin to message me, please? Jonathan Cox not happy. I don't think Jonathan Cox realised that RU Racing had a puncher. Well, there's your final standings, guys. Championship standings will be posted tomorrow. But that was well, action-packed. But I've got a feeling the admins are going to be busy on this one, and there could be some penalties dished out up and down the field. Lucas will be happy to salvage. Flying Solace with the fastest lap and bonus point for himself as well. Nice all the points for Flying Solace on his return to the elite. So that was the elite. I'm pretty sure you will still lead the championship, as we are joined by Dan Murphy, second place after starting pole. You must be delighted, mate. No? Yes? Dan?
Sorry, mate, I had to leave and come back, so I didn't hear what you said.
No, I'm just saying you must be absolutely delighted. The two stop did it work for you, do you think?
No, I think I potentially threw away the win. That's my opinion.
It's tough. I think Navy's pace was good. It was strong. Like, you could have been closer, but I think you and Navy would have been pretty close. But you avoided the chaos at the start. Were you planning to go 2-stop from the very start?
Yeah, I think I just wanted to have a good qualifying, so qualified on softs. And then strategy was set from there. I didn't mind doing the 2 stop. I've done it in the previous race. I knew it was an okay stop, and just glad I managed to finish in P2.
P2, yeah, Jacob dropping it late on dramatically after getting on the curbs. I'm getting so many videos. There's going to be a lot to go through, but great race. Do you think you could have? Well, you didn't need to catch Deneen. Deneen also blew it at the very end as well. But for you and Flying Stars, it worked pretty well. Did you see any other carnage out there? How was your race after you stopped?
No, my race was pretty clean from everyone I battled. I had a few battles, a couple down turn 1, a bit of late braking. The only drum I had was with Stan, who was lagging a bit, so it made my overtaking a bit difficult.
Yeah, again, first lap seems to be a real problem with you say Stan was lagging during the race?
Yeah, whilst I was trying to overtake it.
We're going to have to look into that, because I know Yor was lagging, and there was literally 11 cars that stopped on lap 1 with front wing damage. I saw a lot of lagging as well, so we have to look at that. But for you, a 5th and a 2nd, you're a genuine championship contender at the moment.
Yeah, my first, I just want to keep it consistent. I mean, if you finish 5th at every race, you're going to be left with shed loads of points at the end.
Yeah. What's your aim for the season? You're in the mix at the moment. Is that your aim? Can you see yourself being a championship contender?
It might be a bit too early to say championship contender. I mean, I think if we finish in the top 10, I'd be okay with that. I didn't do it last season, so I'm hoping to do it this season, please.
Well, you're well on course for certainly a top 5 in the championship, especially while the others are still finding their feet. Next round in China for yourself. How are you feeling about that one?
I don't mind China. I mean, I didn't like it to start with, but the more you practice, the better you get, better you like the track, and I find it okay now. Good race.
Good man, and hopefully we'll get the qualifying issues sorted. I think BP is the better host, so we'll try again next week. Dan, fantastic race. Congratulations on your first pole and your first podium of the season, and that first win. I don't think it's going to be too far away for you, mate. Great stuff. Right, guys, that was the Elite. Tomorrow it's the Super League Drivers round 2 from Bahrain. From then, of course, it'll be live on the YouTube channel. And for the Elite, well, the highlights packages will be dropping just around the weekend. The website will be updated. But for now, guys, enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll see you tomorrow for the Super League.